How are we, guys? Welcome to Walking Boxing. It is Tuesday, January 14th, 2025. I just thought I'd give you a quick view of what I'm up against today. What a beautiful day. It is quite warm though, but absolutely beautiful. We're currently in the shade at the moment because Neil has insisted on going on one of his long routes, and of course we're halfway through and he's starting to struggle. So we're in the shade, which is good. I like this little stretch of road or footpath, whatever it is, because it's in the shade for one, but it's just a long stretch, nice and quiet, not a lot of traffic with people or cars, so it's a good place to film. He just shakes his head and gets spit all over me. First of all, yesterday's video. Now it's interesting, I got more comments about me watching Breaking Bad and the boxing. Just to clarify, guys, it wasn't my first time watching Breaking Bad. 'Cause I had a few comments saying, what? Just the first time watching Breaking Bad? No, it wasn't the first time. The first time watching it back. I saw it 5, 6, 7 years ago, whatever it was. And it was my first time watching it back. And as I said, it was really good to catch up with all those little things that you missed in the first one. And I've just started watching Better Call Saul, which is the spin-off, the prequel. Now, I actually did watch, I think, about the first 3 seasons when it first came out. I wasn't that impressed by it. So it's got a lot of raving reviews, so I've decided to watch it again. I think there's 6 seasons in total. So now that I've just finished Breaking Bad and El Camino, I'm going to get into Better Call Saul and see what what I think of that. A few comments coming back, of course, people saying no, The Sopranos is better. Got to say, I didn't really get into The Sopranos much. I liked it. I like gangster films, mafia films, I really do. But I know I'm going right against the grain here. I wasn't a massive fan of The Sopranos. I just thought it had a lot of plot holes and sort of got off kilter a few times, and the ending was really bad. So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm one of the group that not right into The Sopranos. Anyway, I love the premise, great premise. But anyway, on to the boxing. And big news overnight. Is it big news? Is it surprising news, more importantly? I think not. That's Tyson Fury has announced his retirement. Now, it was short and sweet. It was just an Instagram post or a Twitter post or whatever it is, and it was pretty much just along the lines of, hey guys, I'll keep this short. I am retiring from boxing. It's been a blast. And what did he end with? On the final note, Dick Turpin didn't wear a mask or wore a mask. So I don't even know who Dick Turpin is. Enlighten me, guys, but I'm not quite sure. I'm assuming it had relevance to what he was saying, but yeah, it was very, very short and sweet. So that is apparently it for Tyson Fury. I don't think so. I mean, talk about the classic case of the boy that cried wolf. This is the poster boy of the boy that cried wolf. He's done it numerous times. As recently as a couple of years ago, he was going to fight. Who did he? I think he came back and fought Dillian White, and then Derek Chisora, and then was it Ngannou after that, and then the 2 Usyk fights. So look, maybe this is it. Who knows? Excuse me. Who knows? It could be it. But I think with the Joshua fight there, you get the feeling that all he's waiting for is the massive offer to come to fight Anthony Joshua. I think it's just a bit of a leverage sort of move where he's probably trying to stick it up Eddie a little bit and maybe get Eddie panicking and maybe reaching for the checkbook. I don't know. Well, not Eddie that'll be reaching for the checkbook, of course, it's Turki Al Sheikh, but you get a feeling that this is the first steps in the Tyson Fury Anthony Joshua fight. I know we've all been around the block a few times with Tyson, and yeah, you just get the feeling that he's put this out there as the first step, because he comes across as a bit of, what do they say, a bit aloof. Is that the word, aloof? And you know, he plays on the gypsy moniker a lot, but I think deep down this guy's very, very clever as far as marketing goes. A lot like the legendary Muhammad Ali. He just knows what strings to pull. And can you imagine if Muhammad Ali had social media back in the day? Wow. And what he did just with what, in the 60s and 70s, with what he had, just with the couple of TV crews. Imagine him with X or Twitter, whatever it is, or Instagram. It would have been amusing. But yeah, you get the impression that this is the first phase of the negotiations in the Joshua Fury fight. He's announced his retirement. Then, of course, everyone will probably continue to haunt him, or stalk him, whatever it is, as far as what are you doing, Tyson. Joshua will probably start the call outs, and then it goes from there. You get the drift. You've been around this probably a lot of times. You know the drill. You know the playbook that they all use when it comes to the fight negotiation. So I still think we get Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua probably in the second half of 2025. I think it might be sort of June, July, in London, Wembley Stadium. Both boys will probably pocket $100 million, maybe even more. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the numbers that would draw as far as, or the crowd would be a sellout. That is a given. And then pay-per-views and all that sort of stuff. The only, as I think I said last night on Talking Box, and the only thing I just hope is that Turki Al-Sheikh doesn't see this as a big fight for Saudi Arabia, because he might look at it and go, well, we talk about ultimate fights to put this country or region, whatever it is, on the map, which is really what he's employed to do, by the way. It's the Riyadh season. It's meant to be a tourism campaign, almost, all these fight events that he puts on, that he might think this is the ultimate one for that. I don't know, but I would hope it's at Wembley Stadium in London. I don't think it really could be anywhere else, could it? Again, imagine the crowd and the build-up. I know, again, it's not the build-up, or not the fight we thought it would be maybe 5 years ago, but still, it would be a massive, massive event. So what do you make of it? I just think he'll be back. 100% he'll be back. Speaking of another fight that might be on the agenda, and I've spoken about this a fair bit in the last few episodes as well, is the Canelo and Crawford fight. Apparently is very, very close to being made. Now, Canelo is going to fight William Skull in May. I think they tried to make maybe the Crawford fight in May, and they reckon they won't have enough time or enough leading. I'm not sure why. I mean, it's mid-January. So he's pretty much got, 4 months to get organised. Maybe it's Crawford need more time to build up to the weight. I don't know. But apparently the May date was just a little bit out of reach. Maybe, look, my thoughts on it is that maybe that Canelo Alvarez had already verbally agreed to fight William Skull. Maybe there was an arrangement in the past that Skull stepped aside, although it didn't work in the end, did it? Because he ended up losing that IBF belt as it was, and Skull won that belt, or the vacant belt. So I don't know, maybe there was something in there. Look, maybe they just want to build it up throughout the year. The problem is that time's running out for Terence Crawford. He's 36, I think, isn't he? Nearly 37. Yeah, I think May would have been the perfect date for this fight. So, look, nothing's been announced yet, but the wheels are turning out there, and both guys met with Turki Al-Sheikh in London for the Ring Awards. So that probably tells you everything you need to know, that we are about to get probably one of the biggest fights of the generation. And I know a lot of people say, what the hell are you talking about? Crawford's a blown up welterweight, and Canelo's a solid super middleweight. Well, look at the guys side by side. You look at the video, it's not the videos, the photos of Canelo beside Turki Al-Sheikh and Terence Crawford beside Turki Al-Sheikh. He took photos with both of them. Terence Crawford is actually taller than Canelo Alvarez, and I think if he just beefs up a little bit, he might surprise you how the size difference is not as much of a factor as you might think. Because look, Canelo should be fighting at 160. He fights at 168, just like Floyd Mayweather went up to welterweight. Manny Pacquiao ended up at welterweight. They fight at weights that maybe they're too small for naturally, but they get away with it with their ability and experience and everything else. And they just, in their latter stages of their career, do it so they're not wasting away with weight and cutting weight and all that sort of stuff. And you get a feeling that Canelo's in the same boat. Should be a middleweight, but fights at super middleweight because that's just where he's comfortable at. Doesn't have to waste away too much for weight, and he's happy with that. So I just think you're not going to be a surprise. You're not going to be surprised as you think you are when you see them side by side, that how similar they are in size. Yeah, Canelo's got the bulk, but Crawford's just a different body type, and I think he'll again surprise people of how close in size they really are. And if it does happen, what happens what transpires in the fight? I think Terence Crawford might surprise a few people. The only, obviously, the white elephant in the room, of course, is that how is he going to handle the 168 that he's going to have to put on. Maybe he doesn't weigh 168, maybe he weighs 163 or 164. Who knows? Will there be a catch weight? I doubt it. Maybe if Canelo got the $150 million that he was asking for, maybe the stipulation might be, well, mate, you've got to meet him at 164 or something like that, maybe. But this is Canelo Alvarez. I don't think he bends for anybody, not even Terence Crawford. But on the flip side of that, who else is he going to fight? Not much out there for Canelo Alvarez at the moment. So yeah, it's all fascinating. It really is. And looks like we're going to have a massive 2025. The Ben and Eubank fight, again, I mentioned yesterday, is close. Apparently it's going to be April in London. So yeah, if you care about that fight, which I don't, well, that's one to look forward to for you. Last night, talking boxing, it was always, or as always, good to talk with you guys, and I always like to go over a few of the points that we covered mainly in the episode. And last night, Sam Newman, oh Jesus, it is early, isn't it? I've said Sam Newman, Sam Goodman. It was all about Sam Goodman, and there's a few sort of vocal on there about Sam, and it actually got a little bit heated there, which I liked because it was respectful. There wasn't any insults being thrown around. It was just a heated discussion about Sam Goodman. Now, if you saw the episode, you would have seen that I was pretty passionate in my defence of Sam Goodman. And I'll say it again, apologies if you've seen the episode last night, but I'll sort of go over it again. My thoughts were is that, you know, fighters of that ilk, of Sam Goodman's stature, and not just Sam, but all fighters around that mark or around that level are just cut from a different cloth. And I just liken them to the wolves of the boxing world or sporting world, and everyone else that criticises them are the sheep. And as always, wolves don't worry about the opinion of sheep. That's the mentality I've always had, and which is why, again, I was nowhere near these guys, of course, but you've got to have, if you're successful at anything, you've got to have a certain mindset, and the mindset is I don't give a stuff what people think. I don't care what they think I should do. I don't care, you know, if they give me a chance to do it, because I'm a wolf and I'm going to do what wolves do, and that is achieve. And again, they don't worry about the opinion of sheep. The sheep are out there and doing their thing and just going through life. Wolves are out there really taking life on and devouring life. That's the mentality these guys have. And again, apologies if you saw my rant last night and you've just had to hear it again. But look, it's hard to explain to the average person out there that hasn't done this sort of stuff. And I'm not trying to big note anyone or whatever. I'm just stating a fact. It's very hard to explain to people who just go through life every day. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. But these guys that just do what, not just boxers, but all the elite sports people, elite entertainers, even the elite businessmen, they have a different mindset, and that's why it's hard to explain to people about that mindset, because they don't understand the mindset. They don't get it. They see it one-dimensionally. The guys at that level see things fourth-dimensionally, not one-dimensionally, and that's why sometimes I get frustrated at the fans on social media or YouTube or whatever it might be, who get stuck into guys like Sam Newman. I've almost said it again, Sam Newman. Get stuck into guys like Sam Goodman because they just don't get it. And again, I said it last night, Sam Goodman and those types of guys would not have hesitated 1 second to take the fights that they've taken. And whether you think they've got a shot at it or not, doesn't matter, because this is what they get out of bed for every single day. And this is what they do. So again, if I've just repeated myself after last night, but I thought I had to address it again in case you didn't see it. That's my thoughts on it anyway. So there were some good discussions, a lot about Jai Pataya, of course. Everyone's full of praise for Jai, and so they should be. Again, there's a lot of people saying, well, would he fight Usyk? Yeah, he's going, well, look, why wouldn't he fight Usyk? You talk about warrior mindset and wolf mindset. Well, Jai Pataya epitomises that probably better than anyone in the sport at the moment. You reckon he'd hesitate for 1 second if the Usyk fight came up and he stopped back and went, oh, geez, can I win this? Is he too good for me? Come on, guys. Jai'd be like, right, let's go. again. But yeah, it was good to hear some good comments about Jai, and I think he's starting to really get the respect of the whole boxing world, and more importantly, well, I don't know if it's more importantly, but the Australian boxing fans, who are always very, very quick to criticise their fighters and sports people and everyone else, are really starting to get behind Jai, and he's a very, very good fighter, and obviously hope for all the best for him. What else is there? I think obviously we spoke about, there was the Canelo Crawford thing. I think that was probably about it, to be honest. I think that was, yeah, I think that might be it. I think, one other thing I wanted to quickly mention, wasn't on Talking Boxing, of course, was Gervonta Davis. I've got to end with that. Gervonta Tank Davis. If you haven't seen his comment on social media about Turki Al-Sheikh, have a look. I won't read it out because I haven't got it with me, but because it's quite long. There's a lot of superlatives in there, let's just say. I love it. I like that from Tank Davis. I think he'll still work with Turki Al-Sheikh at some stage, because the comments were directed at Turki Al-Sheikh and all those people that have all fallen over themselves to get to Turki Al-Sheikh. So check it out if you haven't. It's pretty funny. But again, I think at some stage it will happen. I think, because I'm pretty sure Turki Al-Sheikh wanted Tank Davis to fight Shakur Stevenson on one of his shows at some stage, and now that Devin Haney's in the mix, maybe he'll be in there as well for a potential opponent with Tank Davis as well. So, but anyway, check it out. Just a good way to finish up the video. Go have a look. It's pretty funny. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for this Tuesday. I'm going to get Neil home. He's as always starting to struggle about this time. Get him home, get him a drink of water, and he can slip the day away. So guys, have a great day, and we will catch you tomorrow.